Mr. Caleb Umar is an ICT expert. He's an author, a lecturer at Conference University of Technology or Kogi State. He's a cybersecurity expert, and he has more interest in key business areas. Briefly, he's a consultant. He provides digital solutions to businesses, especially real estate business. He's our consultant as well. And Mr. Caleb has a very wide knowledge in ICT. He has his BSc, MSc, and presently his PhD is on view. So, Mr. Caleb, you're highly welcome. So the topic of discussion is how can we scale our businesses using digital platform, and we hope that you are going to take us through this class excitedly. So thank you very much. So you can take us.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. GM, I hope you can hear me. GM,
we are not hearing you.
I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello, GM.
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. First and foremost, I really want to thank you, Engineer Unisa, for this privilege to be able to discuss business at a time like this. And not to say so much, it's a real opportunity. And I also want to appreciate your foresight and the need to bring everybody together because in your briefings, I saw the need, I saw a passion to bring up young engineers, young people into space to get some basic form of leadership, mentorship, which is necessary. So to start with, I usually want to say that one major thing that I see that is very key in our generation is mentorship. A lot of us don't see mentorship as a criteria to upscale to become successful, and it's very necessary. Down to religion, down to prophets, down to education, down to the family ethics and norm. The father is a mentor, the teacher is a mentor, our Islamic clerics, our pastors are mentor to us. So, and also, I also believe that in the place of work, in the place of business, as an entrepreneur, as an engineer, as whatever practice you've chosen, there's also a need to get mentorship from people. So, not to deviate too much, I would like to briefly talk about the impact of ICT in businesses today. And of course, the topic for me is also post-COVID era. It's no news to us that since COVID came, a lot of things have changed. Businesses are no longer as usual as the way we used to know them. A lot of things have changed from the way we transact to the way we communicate to the way we do a whole lot of stuff to the way we even show love. Is COVID has been able to show us that the life that we know it will no longer return to normal anytime soon. For instance, today a lot of us have had to embrace virtual meeting just as we are doing now. A lot of us have seen the need when loved ones are marrying, getting settled. If it's not so necessary, you don't have to travel. They can just go live, and you can also contribute and join and all those things. So also, COVID has affected businesses negatively, positively. So I'll be dwelling a bit on those things, the impact COVID has had on businesses, and what is it for us to learn, to take recourse from. You know, for a lot of people that believe their businesses has been done in brick and mortar, you see, when COVID came, those businesses were shut down for months, and it almost became nearly impossible for them to do transactions. But we also saw that for some companies that have been leveraging on IT before COVID came, we saw that a lot of them were still able to do one or two things. During COVID, their operations were not totally shut down, and as we see it. And of course, after the lockdown, easing down of the lockdown, a lot of companies now saw the need to fully embrace IT. And I usually see, I think most times when I joke with my GM, I see a company that says they leverage on technology. They shouldn't just say it. They should put it to practice in everything they do, in terms of operations, in terms of, in terms of business, in terms of marketing, in terms of consulting, in terms of even project management. So today, I'll basically be talking about how to use IT as a tool for business upscaling. How do you upscale your business? How do you make your business, your venture profitable? How do you move to that realm where you can call your business IT compliant in this digital, or what we call the jet age? If whatever business you find yourself in today, if you don't have any form of digital identity, I can tell you that it's quite unfortunate that even after COVID, you as a person or you as an organization have not seen the need to be where the world is. So it's no longer a joke that any organization, any serious meaning organization, should not joke with every form of IT infrastructure that they need. As a business, let's start this way. For instance, maybe you are someone that is into cars, car dealership. Look at it. How many people would come to your car stand in a day to say they are looking for a car? How many people do you even think you are going to talk to in a day to say, Ayuba, I sell car, Musa, I sell car? How many people do you think you are going to call in a day, what we call cold calling? How many people are you going to cold call in a day and say, Max, you cannot cold call more than about 10 to 20 or 30 people to engage in meaningful conversations. Even if you have a marketing team that is assembly of about 10 people, and you ask every one of them to cold call 10 people or 20 people, you cannot cold call more than 200 people. Even if you have fleet of cars for marketing, whereby you engage all your staff, you give them what they call, what do we call it then when I was in the banking sector? I'm trying to remember the name now, where everybody feel they go out daily itinerary. How many prospective clients can they meet? How many offices can they access before the close of business? And of course, we shouldn't forget also there are time constraints. If your staffs are resume office in the morning, it should not be ideal for them to leave the office by 8 a.m., by 9 a.m. to start going to people's place of work or abode and say, hey, I sell this, I sell property, or hey, I sell cars. Most likely they want to wait around 11, 10, 12, and those hours they have in the office, what have they been able to do with it? So those are some things. Also, when we consult for companies, we say, do you know you can improve your marketing team? What happens from the period of 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. they resume office to 12 a.m.? What do they do? There are automated things, tasks that they can do. Things like email marketing, things like cold calling, things like social media, digital marketing. Now, for instance, do you know the cost of marketing any kind of business you do in a day? You fuel their car, you maintain their car, and they cannot reach more than 10, 20 clients, 30 clients in a week. And the total cost, you spend nothing less than 10 to 20,000 naira for that operational vehicle, for that driver, for all those things. Just from your fingertip on a Facebook, on an Instagram, on a Twitter, on a LinkedIn sales navigation, you can set up ads that can reach out to thousands of people in less than 24 hours. You can set up ads that can reach out to millions of people in less than 30 days. And these are people that they are not bound by geographical location. They are not bound. There are a lot of, there's what we call digital personnel. There are a lot of stuff that happens today. Yesterday I was at Aura Minds, is a rehab in Asokoro, and I was talking to their staffs, and we're having a senior management session, and I was saying, do you know the impact of IT today? Do you know the impact of the internet today? Today, there were times when you want to own a restaurant, the first thing that comes to your mind is for you to set up an infrastructure, go and get a store, go and get be marine, go and get this, acquire staff, acquire this, acquire that. But today, you don't have to go that route anymore. If you have a nice accommodation, a nice apartment, and you have a good kitchen there, all you need to just do is to get your packaging materials, like your paper bag, your takeaway plates. Then you can sign up with a third-party delivery company and register with vendors like Glovo, vendors like Jumia, and get a business where you can sell as much as somebody that sells from the house, and your cost of operation is minimal. And COVID has also shown us that it's not by the numbers that an organization becomes effective. But what I've noticed from my consultation with different companies is that even though we slim down our operations, even though we have slimmed down our staffing strength, even though we have slimmed down even some other key infrastructures in the company, but I've noticed that a lot of these resources have not been appropriately apportioned to adequate IT infrastructure. For instance, today I see a lot of organizations don't have efficient teleconferencing management system, whereby, for instance, you can imagine a company that has 7 branches, 7 locations, 7 sub offices. You don't have standard IT infrastructure across all these locations. You don't have teleconferencing systems whereby you can have cross management meetings across board, audio visual. You don't have systems, sufficient system for operations. Then you now talk about measuring KPIs. Now, not to go too far, COVID is a good thing. Of course, the bad part is that we lost a lot of good people in the front sector and all those things. But COVID has been able to help us to see that we can actually live life as simple as is necessary. We don't have to. COVID has been able to help a lot of us to streamline our operations, our life, our lifestyle. And let me tell you something. If you observe what is happening today, a lot of people have not still recovered from COVID. For instance, today, GM, most likely now, if you want to order food in your house or in your office, you just go online. You don't even want to bother yourself to drive. See what's happening. There's no gas. There's no money. You have to buy money. When you not buy the money, you use the money you buy again to buy fuel at an exorbitant price. And I tell people, the good news is this: fuel price is not going to go down. Fuel price is going to become more expensive. We are just waiting for after election. The price will still spike up to about 250 naira per liter. Now, what that tells you is that there's going to be a lot of economic hardship. Sorry, I tell people, the solution to Nigeria as a country is not the president, is not the leadership. I don't want to know whoever you want to vote for, but largely, the problem that Nigeria is having as a country is the system that we have inherited over the years. And this system, whether you like it or not, it affects us. You might say, why am I talking a bit about the country? Because your company, your businesses is in a country. And if the country is affected, it's going to affect, if there's inflation in the country, it's going to affect your business. Today, the cost of this is over 900. Is a lot of business is biting them deep. For businesses that run hotels, that's why you see the cost, a lot of them have to spike up room rates. A lot of them have to think about putting on inverter solutions. A lot of them have to think about other sources just to run their business. So I tell people today that IT, a lot of people say because that's my field, not just that my field. I tell people IT is just the preface. The future is cybersecurity, because the world we are going to live in is a world whereby, of course, today we are talking about Tesla. Today we are talking about Oculus Rift. Today we are talking about metaverse. GM is going to amaze you that you are building physical structure here and there in different states and maybe different countries. But right now, the IT people are talking about building structures in metaverse. A time will come that people start buying plots in virtual world, no longer physical world. You are going to be working, you sit in your house, you work. Physical work that you do outside, you do the work in the virtual realm, you eat your food in the virtual realm, you build your structures, you live your life. That's the level Facebook is right now. That's the level, my friend, this Elon Musk, that's the level they are. It's going to amaze you. It's surprising today that Elon Musk's internet is now in Nigeria. Starlink, you can imagine, all the way from the US, and the monthly subscription fee is very cheap. Just not to say The future is here. And businesses, if you're an entrepreneur, if you manage a company, if you are a CEO of a company, you have to devote adequate attention to your IT infrastructure. Because see, I don't know, the NCDC, I have good friends with them because we do a lot of projects. I have a lot of projects, a lot of software projects in NCDC. Right now, there's another flu out right now. They are keeping it on the low. They are watching it gradually. There's another form. The way the world is going, we don't know what's going to happen. Just the same way we slept and woke up and they said COVID. What's going to happen tomorrow? So smart companies are already thinking, what's going to happen if you are in the real estate sector? What other areas of real estate can we look into? If we are in the food business, are we going to run our business in brick and mortar? Can we leverage on IT infrastructure? If we are into automobile business, are we going to leverage on just go to our car stand every in the morning, wake up for people that will pass by, wake up for people that are going to stop over to make inquiry, or wait for family and friends, people that know that we sell cars. A lot of people are putting up structures. If COVID hits tomorrow, will somebody still be able to look up my business on Gigi and say, oh, I need a car, Toyota Camry, and my business will come up as a company that sells car? If somebody is saying, I'm looking for where to buy food, just type on Google, food near me. Will my restaurant come up? Or will my eatery come up as a place to sell food? Is somebody saying that I'm looking for the best real estate company, or I'm looking for where to invest my money? Would your company come up? These are questions that businesses and smart companies are beginning to ask. My host today, the question is this: whatever business you are managing right now, can you just type that business name on Google? Does the business come up? What does Google say about your business? It's no longer what people say about your business. A time has come right now. There used to be a time whereby when you want to apply for a job, you come go here and there with your CV. But now what people will ask you is your LinkedIn profile. What's your LinkedIn profile? What's your social network? It's not just that. Even now, even if you are doing international trips, for some of us that travel, you know, they look you up on Facebook, they look you on LinkedIn, they see your social network, they make their decisions. I tell people, for you to get US visa, it's not largely about what's in your financial statement. They care less about what you have in your account. What they really care about is this guy going to be a liability? You know, today it was trending on news. I saw there's this guy called Swidalington. He was making mockery of this Nigerian artist called Portable, the Zazu crooner, and he was making mockery of him that he was denied of US visa. And I went through the post and I was reading people's comments, and I saw different comments, and some people were like, but the bottom line is this: some people were like, of course, US already has a lot of so somebody said in the US they already have a lot of difficult drug abuse people. They already have a lot of problems on their hands that they will not want to give a Nigerian another visa to come to Nigeria, to come to the US and make a mess of the place further. That was someone's opinion. But you know, when I looked at it, my view to that message, to the visa ban or the visa denial was this: what's your social network? Today, I tell people, you don't post everything on the internet. Somebody tell you, I'm flying to Kaduna today. The next 3 seconds, if I just go on Facebook, I will see that the person is in Kaduna. Somebody tell you, I'm going to the US, to the UK. The next 3 seconds, a lot of us traveled, but you don't see there, because eventually the entirety of your life will be a sum of your social status. The entirety of your life will be a sum of your social identity. Right now, we are talking about NIM, but a lot of us are talking about your social identity. If I check you up, GM, I've looked you up already. When I looked you up, I saw your number of followers on your page, over 6,000 followers. I've read a couple of reviews. I've seen your YouTube page. And that is what's going to make a lot of people make some important decisions about you. Not just the fact that you are skillful as a civil engineer, but what societal impact have you made? What digital footprints are you leaving behind? What's prosperity going to say about you? And how much more of IT have you embraced? And how much more of IT are you transcending down to the companies that you've worked, to the businesses that you've managed? And I tell people, IT or the communication, internet technology has not come to replace our jobs. It has only come to make life easier. You can imagine today, sir, that you are living, traveling, you have a couple of meetings in different states. And from the convenience of your laptop, you can automate a lot of tasks. You can automate a lot of reminders. You don't miss out on schedules. So some meetings that you'll not be able to attend physically, you can have them substituted virtually. Do you know till today, there are a lot of government agencies, there are a lot of government institutions that made a lot of money from setting up Zooms, meetings, buying Zoom license for them, and a whole lot of businesses like that. So in my own opinion, in post-COVID era, my expectations are every company should make best of this opportunity. It's affordable, it's available, and it's easy to use. I tell people, I said, if you can use a touchlight phone, I don't see there's no technological platform or there's no technological infrastructure you cannot use. And as one of my good artists to say, Far's the bad guy, he said the best time to be alive is this time. And I read the article. Why did he say so? He said this time is an information age. What he was trying to say is that barely everything you need today in the world, barely everything you want to do today in the world is available on the internet. I don't know whether you know GM, I lecture in a place in Abuja, part-time in Abuja here. And I went for my class today. I usually have them twice every week. So when I went for my Saturday class, they were talking. And I was telling them, when the issue of NSAS came, I have been harassed severally by police. When I was driving my C300, a police officer said, pulled me over. How did you buy this car? Of course, I was using an iPhone. Of course, my laptop is always in my trunk, Apple. And like, you're Yahoo boy and all those things. I laughed. I said, I'm not a Yahoo boy. Luckily for me, when I got my lecturing job, even in area 11 here, H-Medis, I went to H-Medis to get a drug at night. I was on my way back. I live in Life Camp. Then the police officer pulled me over and he said, who owns this car? I said, this is my car. He said, which work do you do to buy this car? Now, GM, sir, if I told the guy I'm an IT guy, his interpretation, I don't know. What I now told the guy was that I'm a lecturer. You know, I said, how can you be a lecturer? You are smart to be a lecturer. And I showed him my ID card. It was like, okay, oh, you can go and all those things. I'm just trying to say that. And I tell people, the problem we are having in the society is this. These people don't even understand the word information, communication, and technology. They think everybody that work with a laptop, that work with an iPhone, is into any form of scam. You know, today in my class, I was telling my student, today, sir, I take a lot of students on website design. I take a lot of students on UI, user interface and user experience. Take a lot of students on digital marketing. Take a lot of students on online branding, digital identity. And I was telling them, you know, digital identity is another big field right now. We call it reputation management right now. And I was telling them that, sir, from the convenience of your home, I have a lot of people that have groomed in Abuja and outside Abuja. From your home, you can make a lot of money from your home, and you are not doing Yahoo Yahoo. You are not scamming anybody. I showed, like, if you go to site like Freelancer, if you go to sites like Fiverr, if you go to site like Do It For Me, you check to build a website. You charge as much as $150 to $500, determine the kind of job. A lot of Nigerians don't work in Nigeria anymore. These guys get 2-3 gigs per week. That's about 500 times 3. That's about 1.5. In a month, these guys make $6,000. These are boys. These are young people. These are the kind of money people make online now. So there's a whole lot of reorientation out there. You know, I was telling people, do you know today, of course, we keep saying one stream of income is not enough. And I tell people, what do you do with the knowledge you have? You know, you are a very good structural engineer. You're a very good civil engineer. Do you know, sir, that your wealth of experience over the years, there are a lot of people that want to listen to it. There are a lot of people that want to understand how you be able to encounter, how you're able to solve problems like this. That alone is what we call passive income in times like this. What do you know? You know how to cook. Do a book about it. Put it on Amazon. What do you know? You know how to sing. You know how to write. You know how to design. You know how to draw. You know how to do anything. Write a book about it. Do a podcast about it. Teach people about it. And this income will continue to come even when you're not working. There are a lot of learning management platforms now that you can do pre-recorded videos. You just leave it there. Today, you wake up in the morning, somebody has subscribed to your course. Somebody has subscribed to your course. Those are ways that a lot of people are beginning to make money. You know, we tell people, and a workforce or a company that has a workforce of over 100, 200 employees should have a learning management system in place. I've seen in my little years consulting for different companies, sir, I've seen good hands leave companies, and I've seen situations whereby when those good hands left, there's what we call in artificial intelligence experts, we call it KPS, knowledge management system. I usually advise a lot of organizations that you are supposed to have a knowledge management system software in your company. It's going to be a big server somewhere. Like experiences and knowledges that people have had should be documented. For instance, let me tell you something, sir. My GM, I'm not trying to, you know, blow your trumpet, but it's obvious that I found out that you're in your set, you're one of the best students, graduating student of your set, and you're quite intelligent and experienced. And of course, you have a lot of experience working with brains and animals and the rest of them. Do you know, sir, this your knowledge over the years alone could be documented in form of audios, in form of books. These things are books, textbooks I've written. There are public places I deliver lectures, 2 days, 1.5 million. I was telling some of my students, I can send copies of my books, they're online. How to do this, how to do that, how to do this. Passive incomes. You just sleep and wake up, the money just drops. There are a lot of residual incomes, things you've done in the time past, things that you have time. Like these things are things that you might have to take vacation. Like when you take your vacation, you go for leave. You might take 1 or 2 weeks leave. You plan your leave. You use it to produce materials. Which are just then pop. I wrap up. I believe today we are talking to 3 classes of people. We are talking to entrepreneurs. We are talking to business owners. And we are talking to business managers. What I want to say is this. This is post-COVID era. Business, life itself, not Nigeria alone. I tell people, if you travel, the world generally has not gone back to what it used to be. US, you mention any country in the world and go and see what left their treasury during COVID. Now, to make matters worse, we are gradually coming back from COVID, and then we have the Ukraine and the Russian fight. And you see how it has affected. I don't know, for most of us that watch news, you will see that, do you know that even affected the cost of grain? And you'll be wondering, how does that affect cost of grain? You know, there are a lot of indices, cost of oil and everything in the world. So what that tells us is this: we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow, maybe, Israel might be fighting tomorrow. Maybe another country. Maybe there might be another outbreak. Maybe. But the question for everybody today is this: what are you going to do as a person? What are you going to do as a company? What are you going to do as a business manager to forestall any unforeseen occurrence again? Do you know, it's going to interest you, my GM, sir, that a lot of organizations embraced IT during the COVID period to still have meetings, to try and strike businesses. But now everybody have gone back as if nothing ever happened, as if nothing can happen again. But as I always advise, but you know, when you go for consultation, a lot of them tell you, consultant, you guys just want to make money, or you guys just want to create an office or a portfolio for yourself and all those things. I tell people it's beyond that. Sir, I go to offices and I see their IT departments. All I see is 1 staff. All I see is 2 staff. And you see about 100 staffs, operations, and they streamline IT to just 1 person, to just 2 persons. And I look at it and I said, I tell them, I said, do you know, I can analyze to you numerous ways that you can cut operation costs just by having a proper IT infrastructure in place. So as we wrap up, I would say, whatever you do, make sure that you are taking advantage of this digital age that we are in. As a person, as an individual, there's much more that you can offer the society. There's much more. And just as I said, this is the best time to be alive because it's an information age. It's going to interest you, sir. If you write a book, it's going to interest you, sir. Do you know those stories maybe you were told when you were young? Stories to us that might not even make sense. Stories to us that might even call fallacy. Write any story right now. Amazon will pay you. Is that crazy? There are people that cannot sleep, having insomnia. There are people that just want to keep reading. I have an app on my phone that I used to read good novels. I used to read round because a lot of us believe that readers are leaders. There are people that just want to keep reading. I have novels I read. I have news and all those things. So right now, as a person, a lot of us, because a lot of people say, I'm earning salary, my salary is not enough. In your spare time, you can do something. And IT will make it easy for you. Is it a story you want to write? Is it a book you want to write? Is it your business you want to put out there? Are you a good project manager? Do you help people manage their projects? Put it out there. Are you a good business manager? You are good in business owner, save cost, and you have good records of businesses that you've been able to save over the years. Do you know that alone, putting that together as your resume, putting it together as your professional CV on LinkedIn, will give a lot of companies looking at you, checking you out, requesting for your services, even consulting for people. So are you also a person and you're thinking, I don't have a job. Where am I going to get job? I laugh. I tell people, I say, do you know there's a lot of job? There's a lot of work out there. It's just for us to find that problem. It's just for us to find that gap. And technology is easy to deploy and it's cheap to deploy.